Now exercise 1.2, fifth question. Check whether 6 raised to n can end with the digit 0 for any natural number n. So you have to check whether 6 raised to n end with 0. That means 6 raised to n means 6. It can be, n can be a natural number, that is n can be 1, 2, 3 etc. up to infinity. Any number can come. Okay, any natural number can come. So whether 6 raised to n end with 0, that is our question. Okay, so here we are going to prove this one by contradiction method. That is a method we are using for the first time. That is, so what we will suppose that whatever it is given opposite to that one we will suppose. Then we will prove when at certain stage it will be against that one, contradiction will come. Then we have to say that it is not. Okay, now 6 raised to n. So suppose we are taking that one, 6 raised to n end with 0. Okay, 6 raised to n end with 0, that we are taking. That means what? 6 raised to n, there is in the multiple, when you are taking the power of that one, there is a 0, last digit will be 0. Then by the divisibility test we know that if last digit is 0, it is divisible by 2 and 5, that is 10. Okay, now that means what? 6 raised to n is divisible by 5 and 0, 5 and 2, sorry, 5 and 2, that is 10. Okay, we know that 6, when 6 raised to n it is taken 6, first one, and if it is 1, 6 will come. If n is 2, 36 will come. If n is 3, then 6 into 6 into 6, 216 will come. Like that it will go. Okay, now 6, how can you split that one? That is 2 into 3. So how many times 6 raised to n, whatever be the n, it will contain only 2 and 3, not 5. No, so it should contain 5 to get that end with 0. Okay, so that this one we have already learned that by fundamental theorem. Okay, this is by fundamental theorem. It is a unique way. It is unique. So are we getting 5 there? No. That means what? 6 raised to n will not end with 0. So there is a contradiction. Now here we are getting 6 is equal to 2 into 3. 6 raised to 2 means 2 into 2 into 3 into 3. Then 6 raised to 3 means 2 into 2 into 2. Then 3 into 3 into 3. So how many times, whatever be the n, 6 you can split as 2 and 3, not by 5. Okay, so there is a contradiction. So 6 raised to n, it is a contradiction. It is a contradiction to our supposition, that is 6 raised to n with 0. So what is our conclusion? That is 6 raised to n cannot end with 0. Understood? Now what we have started, where we started? We have started that 6 raised to n end with 0. So if 6 raised to n end with 0, 6 raised to n should be divisible by 5 and 2. But when we do the prime factorization, 6 you will get as 2 into 3. Whatever be n, you will get that a multiple of 2's and 3's, not 5's. That means it is a contradiction to our supposition that 6 raised to n end with 0. Okay. Then sixth one, explain why 7 into 11 into 13 plus 13 and 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 plus 5 is composite number. So first one let us take. So 7 into 11 into 13 plus 13. Now what is common in these two terms? 13 is common. So let us take that 13 outside. What you are getting? 7 into 11 plus 1. So now you are getting it as a multiple of two numbers, that is one is 13, the other one is 7 into 11 plus 1. 7 into 11 we know that is 77 plus 1 78. 13 into 78. This much is enough. Okay, so you are getting it is a multiple of two numbers. That means what? It is a composite number. What is a composite number? If the when we factorize that one, if there is a for the number, the particular number, if they have more than two factors other than the number and 1, if they have another factor, it is called composite number. So this one you can write 13 into 78, that means 78 again you can split. So you are getting a multiple of these two numbers, so it is a composite number. If you are doing this much and writing the explanation, that will do. Okay, so how will you write? You are getting 13 and 7 into 11 plus 1, 13 into some number, that means it is a composite number. Now next one you see 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 plus 1 plus 5. Now here also two terms are there, this much multiplication plus 5, that means 5 is common there. Now 7 into 6 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 plus 1, that is you are getting it as a multiplication of two numbers, one is 5 and the other number is this one. So this number is also composite. Okay, understood? So first one, which was common, 13 was common. When you are taking 13 outside, you are getting 7 into 11 plus 1. So 13 is one number, 7 into 11 plus 1 is one number. So you are getting a composite number like this. Here 5 is common. When you are taking 5 outside, you are getting a number plus 1, that is another number into 5. Again it is a composite number. This is a circular path around a sports field. Sonia takes 18 minutes to drive one round of the field, while Ravi takes 12 minutes for the same. Suppose they both start at the same point at the same time, go in the same direction, how many minutes will they meet again in the starting point? So two persons, so they are moving from the same point. So one at a speed of 18 minutes to complete one round, other one will take 12 minutes. So when they will meet at the same point, that is a question. So here you are asked to find out the LCM of 18 and 12. Why? Because in the same direction they are moving. So first one 18 minutes it will take. So before that, second one will complete the first round, then it will reach here, like that it will come. So after some rounds, both of them will meet at the same point. So LCM you are asked to find out. So LCM 18 you can 2 into 3 into 3, 2 nines are 9, you can split as 3 into 3, 12, 2 into 3, 4 into 3, so 2, 4 you can split as 2 into 2. Now common is 2 and 3, so LCM will be 2 into 2 into 3 into 3, so 9, then 18, then 36. So after 36 minutes both will meet again at the same point. Now irrational number that we have already learned in 9th standard. Rational number means which we can write in the form P by Q, where Q cannot be equal to 0. Irrational number means the numbers which we cannot write in the form P by Q. Okay, rational means we can write in the form P by Q. Okay, irrational means we cannot write in the form P by Q. Okay, now here we are going to learn how to prove that root 2 is irrational. So first one is you have to prove that root 2 is irrational. Here also we are using the contradiction method. So contradiction method means whatever you have to prove, opposite to that one you have to suppose. That is, root 2 is rational or not irrational. That means root 2 is a rational number. Okay, now if root 2 is rational, root 2 you can write in the form A by B. Okay, where A and B are mutually prime number, or we can just multiply this one, B root 2 is equal to A, or square both sides, B square into root 2 square is equal to A square, or root 2 square is 2, 2B square is equal to A square. Now what you are getting? Now A square is equal to 2 into B square. That means a multiple of 2. Multiple of 2. 2 into some number. That means it is a multiple of 2. That means A square is divisible by 2. And if A square is divisible by 2, A is also divisible by 2. Okay, A is also divisible by Now if a is divisible by 2, we can write a as equal to 2 into some other number c, or a square you can write as 4 into c, 4c square, squaring both sides. Okay. Now when we put a square is equal to 4c square, what you are getting? 2b square is equal to 4c square. So common 2 is there, that you can cancel. B square is equal to 2c square you will get. That means what? B is a multiple of 2. That means B is a multiple of 2. Here when we took this number, we stated that root 2 is equal to A by B, where A and B are co-prime number. That means they don't have anything in common here, but we are getting a contradiction that A contains 2, at the same time B also contains 2. So it is a contradiction. So why contradiction came? Because our supposition was wrong. So root 2 is, here we supposed that it is a rational number. So that was wrong. Root 2 is irrational. Okay. Here you write A and B are co-prime numbers. That means they don't have anything in common. Now prove that root 3 is irrational. The same way we are going to prove this one. So root 3, suppose we are taking root 3 is rational. So you can write, we are taking root 3 is rational, and root 3 you can write as A and B, where A and B have no common factors. Okay. Now cross multiply. B root 3 is equal to A, square both sides. What you will get? B square root 3 square is equal to A square, or that 3b square is equal to A square. That means what? A square is a multiple of 3 into some other number. That is, A square is divisible by divisible by 3, or A is also divisible by 3. A square divisible by 3 means A is also divisible by 3 you will get. So A you can write as 3 into C, another number. So A squaring you will get 9C square. Put that value in this one. 3B square is equal to 9C square. 3 you can cancel. B square is equal to 3C square. Now you are getting B square is equal to 3C square. That means B is divisible by 3. Okay. So first we got A is divisible by 3. Second we got B is divisible by 3. But our assumption was A and B have no common factor. So that is a contradiction. Okay. So Why this contradiction came? Because we wrote that one as rational number. So therefore root 3 is a rational number.